The quiet air inside the memorial hall smelled heavily of fresh-cut lilies and lingering sorrow. From across the crowded room, my sister Kendall kept her sharp eyes locked onto me while putting on a performance of deeply exaggerated grief for the wealthy guests. A quiet vibration buzzed against my hand as a message appeared on my screen from my husband Callahan, warning me to stay completely calm because my sister was secretly recording my every move. Instead of panicking, I took a slow and controlled breath while maintaining a completely neutral facial expression. My fingers moved across the glowing glass screen to send a single 5-letter signal phrase, Falcon. Within seconds, a subtle ripple moved across the solemn room as 12 muscular men in dark tailored suits stood up in absolute unison. They did not utter a word, forming an imposing wall of quiet military discipline that drew every single eye toward my seat. Seeing those powerful men align with me caused Kendall to freeze instantly, her smug expression melting into absolute shock. Her cruel trap had backfired completely. But to understand why a Tier 1 covert unit was backing me at my father's funeral, you have to understand the bitter dynamic that existed for years. My family always treated me like an insignificant shadow, while treating Kendall like a brilliant superstar who could never commit any wrong. Just an hour prior in the quiet side room where I was attempting to comfort my weeping mother Valerie, Kendall had barged inside. She was furious that the estate lawyers had selected me to speak before my father's prominent business partners. She pointed a manicured finger at me, sneering that a boring government clerk with a dull desk job could never understand high-stakes pressure or how real power actually operates in the modern corporate world. Kendall firmly believed she was landing another crushing blow against my self-esteem, treating me like the quiet girl who always fell short. She smiled triumphantly, telling me to sit down quietly and let the capable adults manage the complicated family affairs. A cold and steady fury settled deep inside my chest, because I knew she was trying to publicly humiliate me before the official reading of the final will and testament. She wanted everyone to view me as unstable, but she had no idea that I had authorized a complete security threat assessment on her less than an hour earlier. To comprehend how my husband's elite tactical unit ended up in that room, you must go back to a quiet family dinner from several years ago. My father had raised his glass to celebrate a massive real estate commission that Kendall had just earned through hyper-aggressive sales tactics. When the applause for Kendall died down, I quietly mentioned that my comprehensive research paper on national security had just been published in an elite defense journal. My father patted my arm with a patronizing smirk, calling my academic work a cute little reading project, before loudly repeating that Kendall was the real winner out making big moves. Kendall smirked across the table, reinforcing the painful reality that my achievements would never matter to them. What my relatives never realized was that I lived a double life far beyond their shallow comprehension. Deep inside the secured perimeter of a windowless briefing room, I was not the disappointing daughter. In that world, my codename was Falcon, and I operated as a senior intelligence strategist who designed critical operational plans for high-risk covert missions around the globe. My husband Callahan was a legendary field commander who respected my mind immensely. In that high-security facility, there were no condescending smiles or dismissive comments about my career. When I briefed elite operators before dangerous overseas deployments, battle-hardened military men listened to every word with total silence and unwavering focus. Callahan and his team trusted my tactical intellect completely because my precise intelligence summaries kept them alive behind enemy lines, earning me the genuine respect that my own biological family perpetually refused to give. The absolute isolation from my relatives became even clearer during a painful phone conversation with my mother Valerie a few months before my father passed away. After Kendall deliberately ruined a major professional opportunity for me out of pure petty jealousy, I called Valerie looking for basic maternal comfort. Instead, my mother sighed heavily and begged me to just let Kendall win so everyone could enjoy peace, proving they would always sacrifice my well-being for her comfort. That frustrating phone call was the final straw that altered my perspective forever. I completely stopped seeking their love and began viewing my toxic relatives through the lens of objective threat management. The night my father passed away, Kendall was already in the next room whispering urgently to probate attorneys to secure the inheritance. I sat on the sofa watching her ruthless ambition unfold, feeling no emotional pain, only the sharp clarity of an intelligence analyst. I decided that the upcoming memorial service would not be an emotional battleground where Kendall could manipulate the narrative. I placed a secure phone call to Callahan, stating that I needed to initiate a specialized domestic protection protocol immediately. My husband did not hesitate for a single second, instantly shifting into operational mode as I requested his off-duty tactical team to deploy throughout the memorial hall as undercover security assets. I opened my tactical software and mapped out the entire floor plan of the chapel, strategically positioning Callahan team members to cover all exit doors and sightlines. Kendall thought she was setting a hidden trap for a helpless victim, but she was actually walking into a carefully orchestrated psychological operation. When we arrived at the chapel, the heavy air smelled of floral displays while unspoken family tension filled the entire venue. Kendall strutted around the venue acting like a grieving angel, but her calculating eyes continually tracked my movements, eager for any sign of emotional collapse. Then the text message from Callahan arrived, confirming that Kendall was secretly filming me with a hidden camera tucked inside her handbag. I made brief eye contact with my husband across the aisle, giving him a microscopic nod before typing the command word into my encrypted messaging application. The moment that single word was transmitted, Callahan stood up straight, followed immediately by 11 broad-shouldered men who rose in perfect harmony across the room. The absolute silence and synchronized authority of these intimidating men commanded instant respect, drawing every gaze away from Kendall and focusing total attention upon me. Kendall froze in place, her phone slipping from her numb fingers and clattering loudly onto the polished marble floor. My mother Valerie stared at me with wide eyes, suddenly realizing that the daughter she had dismissed for decades possessed unimaginable authority and unseen support. Callahan stepped smoothly to my side, speaking in a firm voice that resonated across the silent room, declaring that his team was present to honor a true patriot family. That single powerful statement forever shifted the family power dynamic, leaving Kendall completely discredited in front of everyone. After the service concluded, my father's influential business associates bypassed Kendall entirely and approached me with profound respect and admiration. A high-ranking military general shook my hand firmly, admitting that my father had never truly understood the incredible magnitude of my true service to the nation. Hearing those words sealed a painful chapter of my life, allowing me to step into my future with immense pride and total peace of mind. 6 months later, I sat at the head of a massive conference table inside the executive ring of the Pentagon as Director of Strategic Analysis. Leading high-level security briefings for top military commanders, my intellect was recognized as a vital asset to the country. Walking down the silent hallway beside Callahan, my phone buzzed with an apologetic message from Kendall, but I simply archived the text without feeling a single shred of bitterness or regret. True family is not defined by shared bloodlines or fake loyalty, but by the dedicated people who stand by your side when challenges arise. Walking forward into a bright future surrounded by mutual respect, I finally found the peaceful life I always deserved.